Welcome to Awards Bait, the official Galaxy of Film award show podcast, where we ask ourselves, what's getting nominated this year? Joining me every other Tuesday is a roster of guest stars to help me answer that very question. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. It's Zippy Zeidler here, and I was only given limited ad space through Galaxy of Film to promote my new short film, Getting Real with Zippy. So I've got to make this quick. Please watch it and share it with your friends. I'm going to need all the support I can get. Divorce attorneys aren't as cheap as you'd think, it turns out. Check out Getting Real with Zippy, now on the Galaxy of Film YouTube channel. Welcome back to Awards Bait, everybody. I am your host, Jake, and I am joined by my trusty co-host here, Mr. Ron Basiglia. How are you doing today, Ron?
I'm doing good, Jake. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Everything's good. We saw so many films since we last recorded. I believe I misspoke last episode. I think I said our next episode would be after Thanksgiving. That's not true. Our next episode is this one, and it's right before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is this coming Thursday. We're very excited. Always a good time to be with family and loved ones and all that stuff. And it's also a really great time to catch up on the year in film. So it's the time to kind of sit around. You're with family. Maybe you put something on. Maybe you go see Red One. There's a lot of things that you can do. So, we saw some films. We started it off with A Real Pain, or actually we started off with Heretic, but I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about that, but maybe we could talk about it a little bit. But we saw Heretic, we saw A Real Pain, we watched Emilia Perez on Zoom together on Netflix. That was a great time. Had such a good time doing that. And then we both, I believe that's it. And then we both saw Gladiator II the other night. And then I saw Wicked, which I'll talk about a little bit. But then we both saw Gladiator. We've got some reviews for that today, but big news to start off here. Actually, you know what? Before we get to that, you might have just heard the podcast ad, but yes, Getting Real with Zippy is out now. It just came out this past Friday. If you have not seen it yet, please check it out. I had a lot of fun making that. It harkens back to the Mayhem Pictures days, I feel. There's a lot of people that have kind of been saying that to me since they've seen it. They said it feels very... A close friend of ours mentioned that he felt it was very bored and unscripted, which I thought was high praise. So that was nice. Yeah, that was good. That was good praise, and that's what I like to hear. It harkens back to the old stuff while also, maintaining some of the new that we've brought into it. So it's a beautiful marriage, and I hope you all enjoy it. So that's out now, and so all that out of the way, and we also have our showcase coming up December 16th. I believe tickets. Which is super strange that we're selling tickets to this event. I feel like a big deal. It's weird. But we have tickets on sale for the December 16th showcase. This coming December 16th. So Galaxy of Film Showcase number 2. Got a number of films coming out. A lot of them have already been released, but it's just our slate for the year. Then we're being...
Do I tell people where this event is?
Yeah, it's in North Carolina.
There you go.
It's in Raleigh, North Carolina. So if you're in the area, if you're in the area, if you've ever, and thanks for helping me out there, friend.
Yeah. I hear you're like, tickets are on sale, and I'm like, hey,
tickets are on sale. Yeah, I know, it's true. Yeah, you'd fly down or drive down like we're doing to fucking North Carolina. It's gonna be a great time. We'll do a Norwalk showcase at some point, I'm sure, and then we'll definitely make sure we get all the pals over. But it's gonna be a great time. Tickets are on sale. It's at a Regal Cinema, so that's gonna be my first time at a Regal theater ever, and I'm gonna be watching my films, which is pretty cool. So gonna be a lot of fun. Hope to see some of you guys there if you're listening. Definitely am interested to meet certain people that are gonna be there, and I'm very excited to. I don't know if that's been announced yet that certain people are going, but I'm very excited to meet those people. So. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the news this week. We have got a big one. Actually, you know what? Let's end with that. Let's start with a complete unknown. So, James Mangold's film, A Complete Unknown, has finally started screening for critics and awards voters and all that stuff. And apparently it's really good. And it seems like Timothée Chalamet just might be creeping up on that Oscar once again. So,
Mm.
Ron, how you feeling about A Complete Unknown? Are you interested in this film?
I
What do you
am.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, David Bowie's like David Bowie.
Oh
Bob Dylan's an
boy, Bob
interesting.
Dylan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's an interesting character. Like, there's been movies about him before. Even Inside Llewyn Davis kind of harkened back to like Bob
Mm,
Dylan a little bit at the
yeah.
end. Um, I'm excited to see it. I'm glad it's getting good reviews. Obviously, it could have been middling or like poor reviews, but to hear
Yeah.
that's good is very very good.
Yeah. This could have been like we mentioned, like Bohemian Rhapsody or something. Like just a
Yeah, that's
kind
what I
of
was
a
getting nervous about. But
yeah, kind of a miss. Like not quite that good. And it's like, oh, Chalamet's doing his own singing,
yeah,
but it's
I
not good.
met. Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. I missed. Made how much? How much billions? How many billions of
Yeah, I mean,
dollars?
yeah, it almost made $1 billion, and I think that's why it was nominated for so many things because it was
Yeah.
popular. And it's like
Hmm.
that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a popularity contest, and it's sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You want to get people to listen, I get it,
Yeah.
but anyway, so we've got that Complete Unknown hitting theaters December 25th. So maybe they'll do some
Mm.
early screenings for us because that's so far, and
Yeah.
that's one
It's
of the big
far
ones
away.
that like it for whatever reason that one kept slipping my mind. Maybe they haven't been advertising it enough. I'm sure now the big kick will start because it's gotten good reviews.
Yeah. Hmm.
So maybe we'll start to hear about it a lot more in the coming
Now
weeks.
that the advertising for Wicked is the advertising space for Wicked's gone. I guess some
Thank
other
God.
things in.
Thank God. Wicked Part 1, which is now very
Yeah.
much advertised and talked about.
Hmm.
I know I broke
Every
the news to you on this show.
on the show,
Yep.
every single like AMC movie would start with like a warning from Wicked, and I'm just like, I am so. That's why Jake saw it. I didn't because I'm just like, no, two
Yeah.
hours and 40 minutes,
And
part
I have
one.
I have quite a story for
Yeah,
my
and
Wicked experience.
yeah.
It's yeah, we'll get to it. But anyway, the next news story and the only other news story is that Conan O'Brien is hosting the Oscars. This is great news. I love
This is
Conan
great.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
I think he's a super funny guy. I think he's got a certain wit to him that like you don't really see very often.
Yeah.
Um,
He's like the one late night kind of host that's actually like a real human being.
yeah, I
And it's
love
not
that.
just like sad. And it also he comes from The Simpsons, so it's like he actually knows comedy and writing comedy.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's true.
it'll be great for him to host the Oscars. I know everyone's dream is like John Mulaney because he had
Oh,
that one bit in the last one that was pretty good.
mm-hmm.
But
I
Conan's
think
good.
I
Conan's good.
think I'm excited, and I'm definitely like I think it was like Jimmy Kimmel like for like 3 years in a row. So it's like I'm glad we're
Yeah.
getting away from that. I
Hmm.
kind of liked the year where they didn't have a host. So like
Mm.
I didn't mind that, and I was kind of hoping maybe that became the norm. But like I think the one without a host was really the most like tight. Like it was like
Was that the Kevin Hart one?
yeah, it was that year.
They need to give it back to him. That was a
You
sad
think so?
story.
Yeah, it was a sad
Just to
story.
be like his dream was to do the Oscars, and then there's some stand comedian that
It's
talks
like
about that. I
you
think it's
made
Dave
one
Chappelle.
joke, yeah, and
Yeah,
now
I
you're
think it was
fucked.
I think that was Dave Chappelle's point. He's like,
Yeah,
this guy's dream is to host the Oscars, and then some prick pulls a joke up from 2011,
yeah.
just ruins it. He deserves it. He works
Yeah,
hard.
he does work hard. I think it would be maybe at some maybe him and The Rock can do it. No, I don't want The
Oh,
Rock to do it.
yeah. I think it'd be.
I
I
saw
think.
Red One. I'll talk about that. No,
Uh,
it's awards bait. We'll talk about Red One. Jesus
I
Christ.
I think I think Kevin Hart could do it, and then like The Rock, jokingly like crashes or something stupid like that.
Something stupid. He's like naked. It's like all right.
Yeah.
Like John Cena would do it. Dwayne would not. That's right. It's not The Rock. It's Dwayne. Yeah,
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thespian actor who pees in water bottles and shows up to set
Yeah,
six
I heard
hours
about
late.
that. Very odd.
For
Very
Red One,
weird.
and that's why that movie cost $300 million because of him.
Where there's a joke going around of Smiling Friends where they're like, "Why don't they like it? We spent $250 million on this." It's like Red One opening weekend, $30 million.
That's
Oh
literally
man.
what happened, and it think it dropped like a goddamn rock this weekend. So
Oh Jesus. Is it
like a
gonna?
rock.
Uh,
Yep,
you think it's even gonna like last till Christmas time?
they'll keep it just like stringing it
That
along.
was such bad releasing. They should have
It'll
waited.
see like a little uptick around December ish,
Because
and then
I'm
it'll
gonna
be
go
like
see it with family during
so
Christmas time. So I'm
you'll be
getting nervous that like Christmas is gonna come and it's just not gonna be in theaters because they're
it's
like
possible.
they're getting prepared. That's why I'm getting nervous because they're like
Yeah.
amped for it, and I'm like, this is not going to be a good movie, but you guys
It's
want to
like
go see
guys,
it?
like this movie probably is gonna drop like over 60% in weekend two. Like this
Uh,
might not be out in a month.
yeah, I might have to send some text out soon and feel like we
Might
got to
have
be
to
prepared
might have
to
to
not see this movie.
alert your family like, all right,
Yeah,
everybody, get set on maybe seeing Wicked instead, because Jesus, Wicked Part One, excuse me.
yeah.
Uh,
Part one, not the whole story.
two
Part two is gonna be it's gonna be together like a 5 hour epic.
2 hours and 40 minutes, and also the play is 2 hours and forty
I
five
heard
minutes.
about this. Yeah,
The
that the
full
whole
play.
yeah, that's wild. That's crazy. This is like The Hobbit.
It is The Hobbit again. It's insane.
It's just
Anyway,
unbelievable.
Jimmy Kimmel's not hosting, thank God.
Yeah,
I'm
Conan's
kind of
hosting.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of over him, and I am very happy that we have Conan, because Conan,
yeah,
I think Conan deserves like a shot like this. Like this is
he
good.
does. Yeah,
He didn't something weird happen with him with the late night shit.
he left it. I don't know if it was on his own accord or
I
it
think
probably was on
something
his own
happened.
accord. Really?
I don't.
Well, let me just look up really quick. But I thought
Look
he
into it,
left
but I
because
think
he did it on his own. He did
he
it for
was,
a long time.
but he was wronged in some way. I think, and like something happened. Like he got like kind of the short end of the stick, and then like
Late night
this,
show
this could maybe be like
ending.
somewhat
Where
of
is it?
a comeback here, because he's a
Uh,
everybody seems to always enjoy him. So I don't see why you wouldn't do this, and I'm excited that he's doing it because it
I
seems like
think
he's on his way up.
the news just says like he just left on his own accord.
All right, then never mind. But I remember reading somewhere that he was, wronged in some way. But
That's possible.
I'm sure. I mean, who wasn't? Who hasn't been wronged in Hollywood?
Oh yeah,
It's the city of dream crushing.
yeah.
And it's where I want to be. So,
But
let's. I mean, that's pretty much what we've got for news. Let's get into our
yeah.
reviews for this week. What do you
Mhm.
want to start with here? You want to start with what we saw in order, or do you want to start with Amelia
Yeah, let's
Perez and
just
get
let's just
that?
go. Well, was that the first one, or we saw Real Pain
I
first?
think we saw Real Pain first.
Let's just
Let's
get Amelia. Let's get
Yeah, let's
Amelia
get
out of the
Amelia
way.
Perez.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
both kind of felt like this was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah,
It was just like, I mean, the premise is really,
out
really
there.
out there and progressive.
Yeah.
Um, the musical aspects seem very forced for like no reason really.
Mm.
Seemed very Netflixy. Uh, seemed just like kind of just fun.
Yeah, that felt like one of those ones where like even if you go, like I remember you and I saw Maestro in the theater, and
Hmm.
like that like translated, like that was good in the theater.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
you watch on Netflix, you're like, yeah, this is fine on Netflix. Like I don't need to. It's not like
Hmm.
fucking Oppenheimer where I need to see it
Yeah,
in the theater, but it's like this is a good time to see this in the theater. This I would have been like, this is. I think I would have hated it if I saw it in theaters.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think I would have been like, this is a waste of my time. But
Hmm.
it's like I sat down, I knew what I was kind of getting into here with this for the most part, and it starts, and you're like, oh, like it's like this, huh? I do think it's like wide open enough that this could win like best like international feature. Um, if
Yeah,
enough of it is in Spanish, I think it is. Like
yeah.
I think we were talking about this after the movie ended, but like I think like enough of this is in Spanish that it could qualify for international feature and win. Because I think it's
Yeah,
a pretty thin year for like,
for anything else.
yeah, because like
Well, no, there's that one. I don't know what country it comes from. Let me look it up real quick while you talk about
there was
Amelia.
one that they like there's like a couple of films that like aren't being submitted because there's like a lot of controversy. Like all the good international films are not being submitted because there's like
Really?
controversy around them.
Oh,
I've
Didi. I'm thinking of
Oh,
Didi.
Didi is that in another language?
It's the title is technically in a different language. Yeah, I just don't know.
Oh.
I just can't see like what country kind of comes from.
But
Is
it's
it ti-
like I feel like it's in English though. I think it's in English
Oh,
spoken.
is it?
I
Maybe
could
it's
be
mixed.
I might be wrong.
Maybe. I'm
Because
just
like Past Lives was not a qualifying foreign film.
Oh.
Because
Oh,
like too
okay.
much of that was in English, I think.
Yeah, maybe this is. Hang on.
And then Anatomy of a Fall did qualify, I believe, and then that won. I could be wrong. I don't. I'm not. Maybe I'm misremembering this.
Yeah,
But
part of this is in. I mean, the trailer is like in English. So I don't know, but
DD. Oh,
I,
okay.
I'm yeah.
We gotta see
This
that. I haven't seen that yet. I have to check that out.
yeah. It kind of just went. It kind of just came and went really quick.
Yeah, everybody loved it when they saw it,
Mhm.
but then it's like Sing Sing. Except that DD, I think I could actually purchase that and watch it. Sing
Um,
Sing's gone.
but yeah, Amelia Earhart, Amelia Perez.
Oh my God.
Of
Amelia
this,
Perez.
it was fine. I mean, tonally, it was kind of like a mess a little bit,
Yeah.
and there was like one side love interest that just like popped up once that just like never got brought up again.
Yeah. It
Um,
was
the mo
yeah.
it kind of goes down a generic like way that you think it's gonna end,
Hmm.
and then we laughed at the final like scene, which was not supposed to be laughed at. It was
No.
literally like a SpongeBob scene where something crashes, it stops, and then just a giant explosion. And
Yeah, that was pretty
we were
crazy.
muted, but we were both crying.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Um, it was fun. I mean,
Yeah, I
there's way better movies that could be made about like actual because if you don't know, it's like a trans movie. There's way more interesting ways to do a trans movie than making it like a mainstream musical.
yeah. I
And
think
it
it was
didn't.
cool and like it was out there
Oh
enough
yeah, no,
that
it definitely was. Yeah,
yeah, it just didn't all
but
come together.
yeah, yeah,
But I thought Carla Sofia Gascon, I wanted to make sure I got her name right, who played Amelia Perez,
she was very good.
was
Yeah,
quite good. Yeah,
yeah, she was
I
good.
really liked her, and it was an interesting premise and setup, and I think it kind of there's certain, and we talk about this. There's certain musical numbers that were really well shot.
Hmm.
Um, I thought
Yeah,
Selena
yeah.
Gomez was interesting, but
Sorry, yeah, some of the
yeah,
camera
yeah,
work was very good.
yeah,
Yeah, it was like some of it was really good, but that was like maybe 10%,
yeah, not much.
and then the rest of it was kind of just generic.
Yeah.
But no, especially compared to the beginning when you see her as a man
Hmm.
and it's like got grills, like
Yeah,
tattoos,
it
looks
was
like
convincing. Yeah.
it was very convincing. So yeah, no, she was very good in it.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and Zoe Saldana, yeah, and I'm actually, I believe, actually, yeah, definitely, actually a trans actor, playing Amelia Perez. So
Hmm.
it was convincing
Yeah,
because that was her life before. So super interesting, compelling narrative for the most part. But I also like Zoe Saldana. I think she does a lot to
yeah, she
carry
was
it.
good. Yeah,
Um, I think again, like she's not given enough like media. Like for the most part, I think we were talking about this. She's just kind of like, okay, it's been 4 years, and I'm just gonna go right back to doing what I was doing, and it's like that's like not like why is there no
yeah,
pushback? There's no
yeah,
like
yeah. There was a weird time gap where it starts off and you see her doing like being a lawyer, and
yeah.
then you have Amelia as a man come to her, and he's like, I want to be a woman. And you have her like the lawyer investigate how to do this for some reason. I don't know why she needed a lawyer.
Yeah.
But then that happens, and then there's literally a 4 year time gap, and then it ends with immediately them coming back together again. So it's like, do we really need 4 year time gap? Um, I get annoyed in movies when characters kind of uplift their life, and they're just like, all right, I'll just do this now.
No.
Like she's like a lawyer, and then she just leaves and then does just as like her sidekick for the whole movie. I'm like, okay, I guess you just don't have your own ambitions and passions. I guess you're just gonna be doing whatever she does.
That's exactly
Um,
right. That's all it
but yeah,
takes.
it's fine. If
Yeah.
you really want to go see it, you can go see it, but you'll be like, this is okay.
Yeah. I do think like there is a world potentially where if the competition is thin enough, perhaps Amelia Perez, the actress, could get nominated. I think I could see that. But
Hmm.
realistically, I think this goes no further than international feature. And that's
Yeah.
like a slam dunk, I think. If this
Hmm.
gets nominated for Best Picture, I will be surprised. But
I would be shocked.
yeah,
I mean, as we discussed, it's late this year, but I feel like there's way
yeah,
more movies you could fit in before Amelia Perez.
I agree. Yeah, I think like this ended up not quite clicking in the way I think they were expecting.
Yeah,
Because especially because of like a lot of people are like, this is like not good. Like, and it's like,
yeah,
oh shit, like people actually dislike this now. And
yeah. And you're already going in with a subject or topic that's kind of controversial to begin with.
yeah, I think like I think it's easier this day this lately to get that more like
Oh,
that's
absolutely,
yeah
yeah. It's
less of
easier.
a
It's
concern,
I mean,
but
every passing day. It's the easiest day to do a movie about this topic.
right, yeah, it's true. So
Um,
like I definitely think like there is a like an accepting audience that will definitely
hmm.
respond to this,
Yeah.
and I think they have like it's the reviews are good on this. Like
Hmm.
it's a decently made film. I think it's very well made, and my like critiques on it have nothing to do with that. I think you agree, but like yeah, definitely like I think it's just my thing is like the structure of it and like the strange out of place musical aspects are a
Hmm.
little
Yeah.
like kind of out of place, but
Yeah.
decent, not good, not great, but decent. Okay, as I think we would both say. But certain aspects are very strong. But also original song, I guess. That's kind of something
Yeah.
that you can get in there
Yeah.
for because it's a musical, so you got to get one of them. Next movie, A Real Pain. This is Jesse Eisenberg's baby. He wrote, he directed. I believe this is based on at least some aspect of this is based on his life.
Yeah.
And it follows him and Kieran Culkin, his cousin, and they visit. Oh, where do they go? I don't remember. They go to
They
like
go. They
Poland,
go in
right?
Poland. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to Poland to sort of see where their grandmother, who recently passed away, where she grew up, and sort of go on a big tour and also visit where she used to live. So that's kind of the basic premise, and then we go along the way, and there's Kieran Culkin is just a tremendously complicated person,
Hmm.
and Jesse Eisenberg is just kind of this uh, bystander who really kind of adds nothing, but also is kind of harmless and just is there. So you and I were both kind of like, oh my god, we see this trailer so much, and we were so fed up with seeing it, especially you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually kind of like I don't know what it was. I think I would tune out to the trailer. I find both of these actors in certain aspects kind of insufferable. I don't really like them all that much.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I remember. When certain things that Benji,
Yes,
Kieran Culkin's actor, he
the
was
character,
doing
yeah.
certain. The character was doing certain things. I can hear you just being like, ah,
He's like and that's the point of the movie. And like I do think like after this, I am now a fan of Kieran Culkin, and I am a fan
mhm,
of Jesse Eisenberg. Like I don't dislike Jesse Eisenberg.
yeah,
There are certain things he does that really put me off. And like I think I saw an interview with him one time where like he was just being an absolute dick to this woman.
yeah,
And that really made me like, you know what? I don't think I like this guy because he's just like a sorry. He thinks he's better than everybody.
yeah,
Like he certainly is kind of like Zuckerberg. Like it's a little bit like
yeah,
he's got this certain like elitist like attitude, and I
hmm,
don't like it. But he's fine. Like I don't like, and especially in this, I think he's becoming a little bit more earnest. I think he is kind of like settling into like this like oh like I'm just gonna do like these kind of little things. Like he was very much in the spotlight for a long time, and like
hmm,
I think he didn't want to be there, and I think that made him uncomfortable, and he was a little like he's kind of dicky about it, and so whatever it is, what it is. I think now I can properly say he did a really great job with this, and
yeah,
I think it's one of my favorites of the year. I would say it's I mean it's up there. I definitely think that this is pretty like for the most part kind of a straightforward like you know easily digestible kind of movie. Like you just go. It's 90 minutes. Um, Really great film to see probably over the holidays. I would say it's got that kind of like Green Book like very easily digestible kind of
yeah,
feeling
hmm,
to it. And I think it's gonna leave a lot of people a little teary eyed and
yeah,
really kind of happy with the time that they spent. And it's very funny. It hits you in
hmm,
certain places that you wouldn't expect. And I think Kieran Culkin is probably walking away with Best Supporting Actor for this.
yeah.
Uh,
I would agree.
Potentially screenplay as well.
He was like perfect for that
So good.
role. He was
Yeah.
perfect because you have kind of Jesse Eisenberg playing the straight man, sort
Mm.
of, and you have Kieran Culkin. And I like the name Benji because Benji's kind of like an odd name to begin with, so it kind of fits him as a character. I mean, that's probably like basic writing
Yeah,
101,
yeah.
but like he's like this kind of wild, like live life to the max sort of guy where he'll just like talk to people, he'll do wacky things, he'll be very overly emotional about certain things. Like he just lives at the extremes.
Yeah.
Um, and it was pretty good. Yeah, like you mentioned, it was pretty straightforward. Um, it was good though. It kind of touched on like more serious, deep questions, and it did leave me wanting like a little bit more from it because
Mm.
there's it kind of goes down this route of you get introduced to these characters. They go on this sort of tour in Poland, because they're both Jewish, so
Yeah.
they're kind of on this tour, and they see the camps or they see one camp, and it kind of with that you get this sort of unraveling of the characters and who they are, and even Jesse Eisenberg's character has this little like kind of hidden sort of I want to be Benji, like Benji can go into any room and the room lights up, like he's kind of has
Yeah.
this jealousy, and he's like, but I don't like air out all my problems, like I take medicine for OCD, like I have kid, so he's kind of like restrained in showing his emotions while as Benji isn't. Um, but then you kind of find out something about Benji's character, and it gets addressed, but like not really fully as much as I wanted
Mm,
to. And then the movie kind of just ends.
yeah.
And it's just like, okay, like that was a good time. I just wish it was like a little bit, if it went like a little bit more with it, I think it would have been a lot better of a movie to actually like tackle the main sort of conflict between them.
Hmm.
But it just kind of gets brought up and then it just ends.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a very good time though. It was a good time. It was
Yeah.
very funny too, to be fair, like you mentioned.
Super
It was
funny.
a lot
We were
for
laughing.
the subject of like going to Poland to see basically like the camps
Yeah.
from how the Jewish people got treated in World War II.
Horrible. Yeah.
Like there is like a lot of it's like genuinely like real funny scenes,
Yeah.
and
It's
there is
not a
like
slapstick comedy. It's
no,
funny.
no,
Yeah.
no. It's funny, yeah. And there's like genuine like heart to heart stuff. So it's a good time.
Yeah.
This one's like a definite like easy watch. Like said with the Green Book, I think that's a very good like comparison.
I think it's just like and this is not a bad word, but like a very safe kind of movie. Like it's like it
Yeah. Well, it's his first movie, so it's like he
yeah.
kind
No,
of
no,
wrote.
he did another one, but it wasn't great.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
Second, yeah. But like
okay.
definitely more of like a like
It's in his
his
wheelhouse though,
yeah,
which is
exactly.
why, yeah, it's in his wheelhouse for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, good film. I definitely can see this going the distance at the awards race. I think this is like up there with like a Nora for me, where it's like, yeah, like I buy this and I can see this happening. Like
Hmm.
I think it's well packaged. I think it's really got a good narrative to it, and it's got a good awards kind of campaign narrative to it. And I think
Hmm.
if they push Kieran Culkin for supporting actor, I think he walks away with it. If
Yeah.
they push him for actor, I still think he'll get nominated, but I think he'll have a harder time winning that,
Yeah.
just because the actor category always ends up being super stacked. But I think the safe choice is to put him in supporting, and I think he will absolutely kind of a lock win that, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think I've seen nothing else this year so far for him to even be like,
Out of it. Yeah.
super competitive against. But yeah, Real Pain, solid time. And then we've got Gladiator 2, which we just saw the other night. Um, this one, I think, I'll let you start.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was kind of like a real pain. I mean, I watched the first Gladiator right before this for the first
Mm.
time, and I really enjoyed that. That was a good movie. And then the second one kind of just does the same thing again, and it's still, pretty well directed, well shot, everything's like consistent themes and stuff. But there's kind of like a missing sort of like oomph that the first Gladiator had, where like you have Lucius, who is played by Paul Mescal. I remember now. And he's kind of like acting like Maximus, where he's like leading the other gladiators, but it's like you have no like authority really. You're just like another man in the army. So it felt like weird for him to be like in the gladiator ring, being like kind of trying to order them around. Because I'm like, well, Maximus makes sense. You see the whole first part where he's like in a battle and he's leading his men,
Yeah.
and he's like being honorable and noble and trying to turn down being the next emperor, and then you see him get taken down, and then it makes sense that he can lead the men because he's a natural general, like he's a leader, and then see him do that was a little odd and off putting. Um, Denzel was very good in it. He was
Yeah.
very charismatic. It's classic like Denzel. Like he's charismatic. He's funny. He's ruthless. Like he can be absolutely ruthless. His motivation was very odd to me. Like it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Not in like this was like a good surprise. More in just like okay, and then it just happens, and it just like it was just odd. But it was a good time. Just like a crowd pleaser. Like it's not really really good, but I could see why like it's not as good as the first one. And
Yeah.
what did you think? How did you feel about it? We didn't really get to talk about it because we left our
I
theater and it was
yeah.
raining.
It was raining. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it for the like you said, definitely like more of a um blockbuster holiday film and less of a thinker. I
Yeah,
wasn't quite like, oh, this is so much political intrigue and so much interesting fucking,
yeah.
all this shit, like the questions you want to be asking. But like, it was a big action movie, and I think they could have done two things with a Gladiator sequel, and they went the bigger route. They went, let's go bigger, let's spend more money, and let's earn more money. And it's like, okay, you did that, but it's not better. So it
Yeah.
is what it is. I think there's no way you make a Gladiator 2 and it is better than the first one. I think that movie is just.
What was the other route you could have
I
seen this
think they
going
would have.
down?
I think they would have just played it. I think it's either like it goes bigger and it's the same shit, or
Which
it's
isn't.
totally different and like
Oh,
super like,
okay.
because the original Gladiator 2 was very different
Oh,
from
there
the
was an
first one.
original script of the
Yeah,
second one
they
that
were
got
going
scrapped.
they were going to make a. I think it's terrible, but people are interested in seeing this. They were going to make a movie where Maximus is in purgatory, and he's like, awaiting, because they're like, oh, he's such an honorable, great man, so he could go to heaven, but he's killed so many people that he
Oh,
could
yeah.
also go to hell. So it's like, well, then he's in purgatory, and he's awaiting his fate. Um, and they bring him back to life, and I think one thing leads to another, and he has to kill Jesus Christ. So like that's like that's it's like something like that, and it's
Okay,
just like
that is so
what
wild.
what is this like? And they were gonna make that, so like they didn't do it, and
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it's
kind of glad
probably
they
a
didn't
good
do that.
thing. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that's the Gladiator 2 you could have made. And very quickly, spoilers, I guess. The ending of this film makes me think: are they going to do a third one? And if so, is it going to be weird like that? Because I think maybe. Like, it's like I hope not, because it's insane. But he's like, "Talk to me, Father," and like he's like, reaching out to this, the gods or whatever he's doing, and then like the clouds are going crazy, and then you see that hand like brushing the wheat,
Yeah,
and
old man hand. Yeah, fat old man hand.
you're like, hang on now, and then the movie ends, and I'm like, whoa. So hang on, like, is this what we're doing? Like, this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I think this movie got enough of a decent critical reception and made enough money that it might happen. Like, and it's like, uh no, like, please don't do that. Like, I don't want to. I do like the idea of like a reluctant emperor, being like, well, this was kind of forced upon. Like, but then we're just getting into Dune. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There, the one thing I had though, I told you when I saw the first Gladiator was there was a shot in the Coliseum that was like, oh, this is Dune.
Yeah,
It's the shot with like the knights, the black knights or whatever, just standing around in the first one. I'm like, this is Lily Dune, but Dune did it better, I think.
yeah.
Um, but it kind of reminded me of it reminded me of the Northman Gladiator.
This new one or the first one?
No, the first one,
Okay. Yeah, I
because
can
it
see
has
that.
the story of like of someone that gets betrayed and then they have to kind of get their revenge.
Hmm.
But I kind of think, I mean, I liked Gladiator, but I kind of think Northman did it better.
Okay.
Well, Northman was certainly more. It was smaller scale, more interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it did it better because it kind of fit into. It had like the art house aspect of
Hmm.
Robert Eggers, and it had that sort of interesting feel of like this is a very like personal kind of movie where it's just one man's mission to kind of go back and reclaim like his mother and all that stuff. Um, but no, it was Gladiator was good. Gladiator 2, not as good. But
No.
so it
Yeah.
was I found it just like a fun time. It was kind of long.
Oh
I
yeah, it
feel
was a
like
little long.
you could have cut out like 40 minutes. It was a lot of also like here's the actor from the first one and they're way older now and
Yeah.
time's passed, but they're still doing the same thing. It's like, all right.
And then also
But
spoilers. One of them dies in like a blink and you miss it shot, and it's like, whoa, what? Hang on, was that the guy from the first one? And yeah, he dies.
oh, the senator.
The older man with the white hair, yeah.
Yeah, the beard. They got the
He
beard too.
yeah, he
Yeah,
was
I
like,
felt bad. He came back, was in like literally two scenes, and one of the scenes he
and
died
then
in. I'm
dies.
like,
And it's
what?
like, okay. I was
Yeah,
shocked when they killed
Yeah, when they
Connie
killed.
Nielsen, the mother.
The mother. Yeah,
And I know what
yeah,
you're thinking too. I was shocked there too. Like
yeah. Because that was pretty early on, or not
yeah,
early on, but like halfway through or so.
I thought we were wrapping up when he was fighting. Like
Oh, and
you think they're doing Gladiator. Like he's gonna kill Pedro, and they're gonna have a big
yeah,
fight, and
yeah.
then they just like kill Pedro, and then I'm like, oh wait, the movie's still going, and it was like, and he's like, is this how Rome treats its heroes? And it's like, wait, he's like he likes
Doing
Pedro, and it's like, wait, what's
yeah,
going on? And then it reveals itself, and it's like, okay, this is interesting, but also, yeah, like you're right, too little, too late,
yeah,
and it's like the
yeah.
motivations are coming out of nowhere, and like these idiot emperors are like fucking just ridiculous, and it's like,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
the similarities between the first one made me be like, this is just like the first one again, where it's like
Yeah.
the rise to power from someone who was wronged, and then you have try to do an overthrow, and oh, the emperor finds out as always. And I'm just like, I feel like this could have been mostly the same story, but done differently. Could have been like a lot better,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
it could
I
have been a
think
lot shorter too. But I think because of Gladiator being 3 hours the first run, they can't. He felt like he couldn't make it shorter.
I think also I think if you made it shorter, you would have had to remove so many things because like it's like
Yeah.
this movie as it is choppy as hell. Like and it's 2.5 hours, but like there's things like Lucius just like forgiving his mother.
Yeah.
It's like where was that? We didn't even see that happen. They're just like in one scene they're like, "Oh, I'm your son," and it's like, what? No, you like 2 minutes ago you were screaming at her because you were so
Yeah.
mad,
Yeah.
and now you're like, I'm your son, and I accept my fate, and this is who I am, and I must rally the people, and we'll overthrow the emperor. And what? No, like this
Yeah.
didn't happen. And then yeah, and then like Denzel just all of a sudden like being a physical fighter and like just getting
Yeah, I
out
thought
there
that
and
was a
being
little
like, and
ridiculous.
it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like you're gonna go up against your gladiator?
Yeah,
No, you're
I
going
thought
to
that was a
die.
little ridiculous. That was
And
the
sure
sort
enough,
of yeah.
yeah, it was insane. And then it's like, so I think like this could have been like this could have been longer if they developed all that stuff. However, you're right.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sit and watch a 3 hour plus movie about like this, and if it's still this, kind of mediocre. But like, at the end of the day, I did have fun. There were like certain things you and I had a good time, and like
Yeah.
Denzel's just chewing the scenery, and he's having a great time. And I think there is a world where he gets nominated for supporting actor. I think
Yeah.
he could get in there. I think this
Hmm.
movie ultimately kind of, unless the competition is super thin, which right now it's November 24th. Right now we're recording this, and I have yet to see more than 4 films that I think can get nominated for Best Picture. So
Yeah, it
I
might squeak
don't.
in.
I'm a little bit like maybe it could get in there just because it's so weak, and really there's nothing
Yeah.
that's come out that I'm like super confident in, aside from like I said 4 movies that I feel like are going to get nominated. Like there's 10 we could have, so there's 6 that are kind of just up for grabs.
Yeah.
So like, is it this or is it Amelia Perez? I would go with this personally,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like I mean, I get it. Like Amelia Perez has more of like a message, and like it's a little more interesting, like in something we haven't seen before. But like it's Gladiator 2, it's epic, it's got great performances, it's whatever, and Paul Mescal's in it, and whatever. And but at the end of the day, I think he's a strong enough lead. But I do think it's like one of these like you guys just grabbed an indie actor and like just made him do too much. And
Yeah.
he took on, it was a very physical role as well.
Hmm.
And it's
Because
like
I'm
I
thinking
don't.
back to like After Sun, he was just like a
Yeah,
normal looking guy.
yeah, and like All of Us Strangers is fucking heartbreaking, and it's like they're both of those films are, and he's great in
Oh,
them.
he's in that
He's a
movie too.
Yeah, he's in All of Us Strangers, and he's a tremendous actor. Like I think he has such a
Oh no,
future,
he is. Yeah, he's a very good actor.
and he's given kind of just this straight hero role, and it's like all right,
Hmm.
this is a little boring for him. I feel like.
Yeah.
Um, he's got some good moments, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, he didn't get a lot to chew on here.
Hmm.
And he's just kind of doing Russell Crowe, but like, a child version where it's like, yeah, like I'm his son. And it's like, all right, that's why we should follow you. Like, no, like you're not really anything yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was fine.
It's
You
fine.
know,
Yeah. I
it was
mean,
fine.
you can sit through it. You're just kind of going knowing it's going to be Gladiator 1 again, but
Yeah,
just different.
but just a little less.
Yeah, just a
Well,
little less.
not as good. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot more animals, a lot more CGI, and just a lot more nonsense.
yeah.
But if you like nonsense, you'll have a great time. I think there is a contingent of people that will prefer this over the first one, and those people I don't want to meet. But I do think there's gonna be people. This movie's fucking sick. They had monkeys and rhinos and sharks. It's like, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you, please. That first one just had a fucking tiger. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
dude, and it was great. It was
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
great. And this one
yeah.
is all CGI and crazy and three
That
hundred
that's
million
kind of
dollars.
why, like I mentioned, like the Northman thing. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
I agree.
sometimes with these movies, like smaller scale works better.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that is the way you make a modern day epic is you just do less, and it's like it
and
works
it
out in
works.
such a way
Yeah,
that like because in Gladiator, I don't know the budget off the top of my head. I know the budget for the second one, but the first one I don't know off the top of my head. But that's a big, sweeping epic movie, and like they don't quite make movies like that in this day and age,
no,
except
yeah,
unless it's a franchise like it is with Gladiator now. So like they don't often make things like this, and the Northman I feel like is the blueprint for like how you make a modern day epic because it's like
hmm
it's and even people will say the Northman was expensive, and it was like it was $90 million, and it flopped. It did not do well, but it's like that movie I think is kind of like the what you can get away with this day and age. It's like okay,
hmm
we can sneak a Viking revenge movie, and it's we can hopefully get $90 million, and then you do, and it's like all right, we did it. But like everybody needs to go into this knowing that this is not going to make any money, and it's just going to be really good. And that's enough for me. I don't care if it makes money or not,
I know. That's the sad thing. It's like,
it
you got
has to,
people. It has to. The original budget for Gladiator was 103 million. Don't know
100.
if that's.
Oh, that's like yeah, that's and also it's 2000
I don't know. I don't know if that's
adjusted.
adjusted or not. I just see it on like the box
I
office
think it's
mojo.
unadjusted. So like back then, that was probably a huge movie back then
Yeah.
for $2,000, like 2000, the year 2000. You know what I mean? Or 1999 is probably when they shot it, or even maybe
Yeah.
earlier than that. Who knows? But yeah, year two. There are better options to see in theaters now, but it's not bad if you wind up seeing it. But
Yeah.
otherwise, maybe wait for streaming because it's I mean I do think it's cool in the theater. I think you can check it out. But like
Yeah. I
Wicked
mean, we
took all
saw
the
it in
Dolby. Yeah,
IMAX,
we saw it in
but
IMAX, and it was fine.
it was not shot for IMAX at all. So
It
it's
was
just like on
not.
a big screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was kind of annoying.
That's a missed opportunity. You could have really
This
pulled
would have been
that, like
sick in Dolby.
at least like the oh yeah, it would have been at least like the water scene, like when they fill the water in the arena. At least make that like IMAX cameras or just something.
I was waiting for it. Yeah, for
Just
the
something. Yeah. I
screen.
mean, immediately as soon as it opened, it started, and it wasn't full screen. You said, "Uh oh," and I'm like,
I said
"Yeah,
that to you. I'm like, oh man, like yeah, I knew it.
yeah,
Like I googled it before, but I'm like, oh maybe it was like a Civil War thing where it's like they just stretched it out.
yeah." Because I was gonna say, it seems nowadays if they're IMAX the whole movie. Like Dune 2 was pretty much wasn't Dune 2 the
What
whole
the Dune
movie?
2 was the whole movie. Yeah,
Yeah, and that was cool. That like
it
that
was amazing.
that's what makes me want to go see IMAX. Is it's a unique experience I can only witness in IMAX. I can't get that aspect ratio. The
Everywhere
film
else.
literally looks different in IMAX. If
Hmm.
I go to the normal theater, granted, it's not going to be as big of a screen or as good of sound, but it's going to be the same experience at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's been the same movie. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like you could when it's like that and they don't shoot it for IMAX. I'm like, okay, then I'm just gonna go see it in Dolby. They have better seats.
Yeah.
They have better sound. They have better color. Like I'm just
hmm
gonna see it in Dolby, and it's like
Yeah.
that's what I would have
And
preferred for
that's what we,
Gladiator, but
yeah. But if you want,
Wicked.
this segues into Wicked for you. But yeah, no,
Yep.
Wicked took over the Dolby screens.
It's unfortunate. And then Moana's taking it next week, and it's like, why? These movies are not. Wicked would have been cool in Dolby. I didn't see Wicked in Dolby. I saw it in regular because Dolby was fucking sold out.
Jeez.
So this is that kind of movie. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Wicked. It's good. It's again like I think my expectations for Gladiator were so low, and my expectations for Wicked were not high, but like pretty high
Higher.
because I was hearing such great things. And so I liked Gladiator more than I thought I would, and I liked Wicked less than I thought I would. So it all kind of evened
Evens
out
out.
for
Yeah.
me that I both enjoyed these around the same, for the most part. So like Wicked, renowned Broadway musical. Everybody loves it. It's a great musical. Prequel to The Wizard of Oz, tells the story of the Wicked Witch of the West, all that shit. They went to school together, the Good Witch and the Wicked Witch of the West. It kind of just recounts that whole story of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo playing off of each other in school for 3 hours. And by the end of it, it gets very exciting. And like the beginning of this movie and the ending of this movie are incredible. And it's like, you need to, and it's like textbook how you make a movie, because it's like, you're starting the audience with like this, like, oh shit, like this is cool. And then you're ending the movie with like, oh fuck, gotta see the next one. And it's like, that's very smart, because it's like, you're bookending it in a way where it's like, nobody's going to think about how slow the middle is. And it is. Like, I was genuinely kind of like, all right, this is way too stretched out. This is very much The Hobbit. Like, it's like, why did we do this? Because it's just too much. And like, I get it, maybe the book, because there's a book of Wicked before the play. So I'm like, maybe the book did more, and like this is more an adaptation of that, and this makes sense. But for me, I was kind of sitting there like, not bored, but like definitely like, let's get something going. Like, it's just kind of like nothing's happening, I feel like. And the musical numbers are fun, and the songs are iconic and all this stuff, but it's nothing I haven't, like, I think it's because I know the story. And I was just kind of like, if you've never experienced Wicked ever in your life, I think you will get more out of this movie. But for me, I was just kind of waiting for like the musical numbers and like the things that I know to come. And I was like, and once those things happened, I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's wrap it up. And so like, that's how I felt. Like, the ending is amazing. Like, the whole ending with her, like, spoilers, she's flying around in the broom. It's really cool. And like, that was great. And I'm like, this could be really sick in Dolby or IMAX. Like, and I was upset that I didn't see it in that way. And I'm now like, well, maybe I'll go again. Maybe one day, or before it leaves theaters. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think I also did not have the best theater experience. And if you know anything about Galaxy of Film, I have incredible theater experiences sometimes. I've talked about it a lot on the main show, and I've got one here for Wicked, part 1, which like it does say that in the credits, and they're not cheating you when the movie starts. It says part 1, and then the ending says to be continued. So you're very much aware of that. But anyway, I saw this movie with my girlfriend. Sit down, and there is a group of incredibly drunk middle-aged women.
Oh.
Not middle-aged, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say middle-aged, but like, I mean, yeah, I guess 30-ish is middle-aged. So like,
okay, yeah.
They're in their 30s, there's this, maybe late 20s, there's this group of women, and they were insufferable. Like, insufferable. And like, they're sitting there, the girl next to me was the worst one, and she was like the loudest one, and like the most kind of like just the most rowdy and like obnoxious. And they're drinking, and I can smell it. That's how bad it is. I'm like, I smell the liquor. Like, it's a lot. I'm like, they should cut you guys off. Like, this is so much shit. And we're sitting there, we're watching the movie. I don't say a word, because I'm like, I kind of don't give a fuck. Like, I am, it's the movie's loud. It's a musical. Like, I know that, but she's like dancing in her seat and like being just in like so cringy and like annoying. And so the movie ends. So they're getting up the whole movie to go get more drinks, and like they're stumbling and like knocking shit over. Like, I guess
really? Was that bad?
It was bad. And so they buy, and they're not like screaming and yelling, but like toward the end they're getting a little bit like frantic.
Yeah. And
they're like laughing and like she's on her phone texting for the whole like last half hour, and then they drop something like kind of before credits, and they're like, oh shit, and I'm like, wow, like I can smell your breath. It's a lot. And then the lights come up, the movie's over, the credits are rolling, me and Maria are sitting there, and they dropped there was a pink tiara on the floor that they bought from the theater, probably, or maybe they bought it from, I don't care. but it's like cheap plastic garbage. So I
Yeah.
pick it up off of the floor and I put it on my tray because it's right in front of me. I put it on my movie theater like tray.
Hmm.
And I also was just like, I don't want to interact with them, so I'm just gonna put it here and then they can grab it on their way out. I'm just gonna get it off the floor so I don't step on it and break it because it's cheap shit.
Yeah.
And so uh the girl right next to me says to one of her friends, "Where did your tiara go?" And then she's like, "Oh, he has it there." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's right here on my tray." And then she's like, "Why did he take it?" I said, "I just picked it up off the floor."
uh,
And she's like, "Oh, I was about to say, if you took it, that'd be really weird." And then I'm not kidding. And, kudos to her. Maria goes, "Are you guys going to be okay to get home?"
Jesus. Yeah.
And then,
Fair point.
and then the girl right next to me just like almost lays into Maria. Like, it's kind of like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And then Maria's like, "You guys drank a lot. Like, a lot. I can smell it." And then I'm like, "All right, let's go." I'm like, "Let's go. I want to go. I want to go to dinner now. Like, we can't talk to that." And she's like, "What? No." And I'm like, "You have a newborn baby on your lock screen. Like, you got do this for them. You know what I mean? Like, don't. What? You're embarrassed. This movie's rated PG. This is
And you're
pathetic.
just plastered. Yeah.
Plastered watching fucking Defy Gravity with the Wicked Witch of the like. Get out of here, man. Like, it's insane." And so there were children in the theater. Didn't hear a peep out of them. But this group of women are screaming and drinking. Like, they're at, like, the fucking bar. I'm like, this is insane. And these tickets are not cheap anymore. Like, the movie theater is not a cheap thing to do. And, like, that's why, like, if they all had A-list, okay, fucking go nuts. I don't care. But, like, I know you don't. So it's like,
yeah, I was just saying.
I saw you in line. You were in the regular line. And I was over there in my A-list. Fuck you guys. Like, I'm privileged enough that I can be in the line and look over at all you peasants.
I saw him in line.
I saw them in the regular line. I saw you out there. But yeah, it was fine. I think maybe that tainted my experience as well. I do unfortunately think this is going to be a huge awards contender. I think it's good enough. It's well acted enough. I think Cynthia Erivo is really good as the Wicked Witch. I also think Ariana Grande is surprisingly pretty strong. Like, she's been doing, like, a lot of people have been saying that, like, she can be nominated for supporting actress. I don't really know if it's going to go that far. I mean, look, like we said, it's a super weak year. So, like, I do think a bit like Margot Robbie got snubbed for Barbie. So Barbie is kind of the same thing, in my opinion. Like, she's doing the same as Margot Robbie, but, like, not as good, in my opinion. And Margot Robbie didn't get nominated. So, I don't know. I mean, it's supporting actress. It's not actress. She could sneak into supporting. I could see that.
Yeah.
And I do think Cynthia Erivo is probably going to be nominated for Best Actress. And, probably several songs. Probably for original song. I guess it's not original song. Be adapted song. If that's even a category. Yeah, because these are all
from musical. Yeah.
pre-existing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Probably going to be a huge Golden Globe contender as well. Which we'll probably cover on the show, but Golden Globes are kind of silly. But it's best musical or comedy. It's like, who do you think that's going to? Wicked, and Wicked. I guess Amelia Perez can get nominated there too. And A Real Pain. There's three of your top five right there for the best picture, musical or comedy. But yeah, it was fine. I didn't love it as much as everybody else. I think there is a certain level of I brought a lot of bad energy into it, but I think at the end of the day, it was worth seeing. It's good. I think it's well made and all that stuff. But I was kind of, I think part 2 is going to do a lot. I think it's a Dune thing. It's like Dune 1. We were kind of like, yeah, that was good, well made, well done. Not a lot happened, but it was good. Mm-hmm. I feel the same way about this, where I'm like, I think part 2 could be incredible.
Could be a lot better, yeah.
Like, I think part 2 might be really good, because apparently, from what I remember in the play, part 2 is really cool. And, like, there's a lot of really incredible things that happen that really kind of bridge that gap between this and The Wizard of Oz really beautifully. And it was cool. I remember seeing it in the play and being like, damn, this is dope. So I think part two could be really good, but as it stands right now, part one, it's half of a story, and everybody that's like online saying like, oh, it feels complete. No, it didn't.
It's
Like
not.
it
Yeah,
very much ends on a huge cliffhanger, and it's we're waiting a year to see the rest of this, and it's like
yeah.
it's fine, and like there's a lot of things that happen at the end of the movie that you're like, oh, I'm so interested in this. Oh, okay, and then it ends, and it's like so. It was that for me where I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is what I wanted the whole time. Okay, it's over. And so that was disappointing for me, but I do think people will love it. It's a big holiday hit. Everybody's gonna go see it. So don't let me be the party pooper here. And I hate to make it sound like I disliked this movie, but like I liked it. It was fine, but
Yeah.
I don't see the hype. It's a little overrated. But
Yeah, especially given
yeah,
the letterbox like
it's like
ratings and curve.
wild how high it is.
Yeah, it's like it's literally like Oppenheimer, like Parasite. Not as good as Parasite level because Parasite was
Not
like
that high. Yeah,
unbelievable, but it was like Oppenheimer, and it was just like I don't
yeah,
like this is a movie that if my girlfriend was not overseas, I probably would have seen it with her. Um, but I'm a straight like white guy, not really interested in musicals. I don't think it's gonna really up my alley.
yeah,
For me to see alone at least, I would have seen it probably with my girlfriend. Would have had like a good
yeah,
time.
yeah. Or
Um,
I mean, you're gonna see it next month because Red One's not gonna be in theaters.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it could come down to that.
It might. I feel like if you're looking for a film, you can't go wrong here.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go wrong with Red One is
Yeah,
legitimately not good.
Red One is the wrong choice.
I
Yeah.
did see Red One,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. How was that?
I think it could get in Best Picture.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, no, no, there's no way. That movie was so weird, but I kind of liked it for that. No.
But The Rock's vision of seeing the Oppenheimer technology used in the
Oh, we
Red
should have
One.
talked about that. Yeah,
That
what a
was,
fucking insane
I guess
thing.
bonus news. It's
Yeah,
like stupid news.
Dwayne Johnson saw Oppenheimer and it inspired him to put Red One in IMAX. Like that guy huffs his own gas. I've never met a
Oh.
more like I've never met a more like ego driven. I've never met him. I don't know why I said that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've never seen a more ego driven person. And I mean I like The Rock, but Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. See, like Oppenheimer is like a movie, and I don't think Red One is
I gotta sit in the same seat that Chris was
as
sitting
Christopher
in.
Nolan. Yeah.
Don't call him Chris. Like you
Yeah,
know him.
Chris.
Don't do that. Frustrating, dude. And then I look. I think Red One is legitimately the last like really terrible movie that The Rock's gonna make. Because I think
Because
Smashing Machine.
yeah, Smashing Machine.
I think he's gonna kind of undergo a whole thing there where it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be like an Adam Sandler situation where it's like he makes the Incredible A24 film and then is he gonna go right back to slop or is he gonna
I
keep
think he
going?
would. I think he
I
will.
agree with you
Because Adam
because Adam Sandler did.
because at least Adam Sandler, like everyone kind of, there was like an inkling underneath that like he's a really good actor, but he's just like doing these weird movies.
Yeah,
And then obviously he did what's it called? That
Punch
one
Drunk
movie.
Love.
He did Punch Drunk Love, which is really good for him as an actor to
Yep.
progress. And then he did the Meyerowitz stories, whatever however you
Oh, I
say
didn't
that.
see that.
He was in that. He was good. He was more of like a not super serious, but like a more serious role.
Hmm.
And obviously Uncle James he was incredible in. And then he
Yep.
went to like Huey Halloween. It's like all right, we're right
Yeah.
back.
What the? Right back to the shit, aren't we?
So like he's like the guy that he knows what he's doing in terms of acting, but he just is like granted
Yeah.
Uncle James he said was a very like intense role. And I
Incredible.
don't get that from The Rock at all. That The Rock is ever going to be like an actual serious actor. And even the Jose Batista, talk some shade if you didn't see that.
Dave Bautista.
Dave Batista, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
he said he threw some shade at The Rock, being like, "Well,
Oh
I
yeah.
want to be like a real
I
actor."
just want to fucking
So
act. Yeah.
yeah, he's like, "I want to be as good of an actor as I can possibly become." I know you don't love him, but
No,
he's trying.
he's fine. Yeah,
He,
he is
he's
trying.
actually trying. To get into Denis Villeneuve's like inner circle is a stroke of luck for him. Unbelievable luck.
I
But
know, dude.
to be
And,
like
and and he
literally,
uses him well. Like he does. He
yeah,
uses him.
he's literally perfect for like he sees him. He's like, I know how to use him.
Yeah.
I think we're going off the rails a little bit, but I think in Dune he was a little like over shouty a little bit.
Part two. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little like let's just scream a lot.
Just yelling. And
Yeah,
he's not. He died in that, right? He's not.
he died. Yeah,
All
I
right.
think
Cool.
so.
So we're done
Yeah,
with him. That's
yeah,
good.
we're done with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Whatever. But yeah, guys. I mean, that's this
I know,
week.
big shocker. Red One's not going to be Best Picture nom.
No, Red One is gonna come and go, and it's gonna be on Amazon Prime in a couple of days, probably. But I didn't actually look at the box office, but I think it plummeted. I that's my bold prediction. Um,
I think if they waited a month, it would have made so much more money. Not even a month. Just wait like 3 weeks. Just have it come out like whatever the let's see, 2 weeks before Christmas.
at least 10
December
million more.
December 12th. If it came out December 12th, it would have made so much more money.
Agreed. I think
But
I think you're right.
well, that's the Thursday, so it's technically the 13th. But still, like, it would have made so much more money. Like to have a Christmas movie come out before Thanksgiving is just such a weird move.
It's really
Doesn't make
weird.
any
It's
sense.
and the move is strictly because it's an Amazon movie and they're gonna like put it on streaming before Christmas.
Oh, it's actually an Amazon movie. Well, then yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. It's
that's
just a
what they're
stupid move.
and it's
It's a dumb
why
move. Yeah.
like don't kill your. First of all, that movie costs way too much money. We doing that kind of shit with it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
should play it like a
This
theatrical
is
release.
not this is not a movie people are buying thinking like this is gonna be the reason why I purchase an Amazon Prime
No,
subscription to
nope.
watch the Red One. Uh,
Anyway,
well,
it's yeah. I mean that does it for this week on Awards Bait. I think it might have been a little shorter one. We just had some good films to talk about. Um, and yeah, we've got a lot more things coming out. There is, we both wanted to watch Blitz and Piano Lesson, both on streaming, Apple TV and Netflix, respectively. So we will definitely try to tune into those before the next episode to talk about those. We've also got some other films coming out, probably, right? I don't know. But
yeah. Something's coming
at
out.
the very least, we have those two. But I feel like Thanksgiving is around that time. We'll get something an
Oh
independent
yeah, because it's
release or-
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's see. Most anticipated.
there are things coming out pretty soon here that we will definitely dive into and talk about. And maybe we'll start, if it does start getting slow, maybe we'll start throwing out some predictions of our own.
Oh, we have Queer
That's
coming out.
that's limited.
That's Luca. Oh, good. So never mind. It's gonna be like Sing Sing. We're never
We
gonna see
can,
it.
yeah. I mean, maybe it'll
Oh,
be around
Craven
us.
the Hunter. Dude,
Couple weeks. Couple weeks.
that's gonna be Best Picture nom probably.
Couple weeks. Yeah, I agree.
There's something called the Nickel Boy or Nickel Boys
Oh,
that
Nickel
looks
Boys,
like
I heard was very good.
as I was gonna say, it looks like that could be really good.
That could be something that
There's a weird like Lord of the Rings, like almost like
yeah,
anime style
anime thing.
movie.
That
Probably
could
not.
be. Yeah, that could
Yeah,
be
it could
nominated
be
for
like best. It could be best animated.
animated. Yeah.
Probably not gonna say it. Brutalist coming out is
Mhm.
official December 20th. So
Oh, very good. So
that's gonna be
like
a good. That's
a
gonna be a
couple
good.
episodes from now.
That's gonna be a great, just like sad. I feel like it's gonna be a really like bummer of a movie.
Yeah.
Old School has an intermission.
Mm-hmm.
We got Mufasa, Barry Jenkins, as we discussed.
Oh yeah.
Sonic 3, Better Man. Don't even know
Better
what this
Man.
is.
Yes, you do.
Oh, director of the Showman. Okay, okay.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
That's what that
oh,
is.
it's that movie.
Yep.
Oh, okay, not
Better.
seeing
What's
that.
better? Better Man.
That's
Oh.
also that's also limited.
Uh,
Nosferatu,
oh,
12
fantastic.
Christmas Day. That one I'd love to see. I mean, I can't see it with my family on Christmas Day, but I would love. That's the one I want to see on Christmas Day or around
That
Christmas.
would be fun to see on Christmas Day. If we both got at family shit later, like early enough,
Ooh,
we
yeah,
can go at night. That'd
yeah,
be a
we
good
could get
time.
out. That'd be amazing. I might not be able to,
I
but
probably me neither, but well, we can try.
we could try.
We could try. We could
And
be
then
keep it in the
complete
back.
unknown, so we could do a complete
Oh, double feature.
A complete Nosferatu. There you go.
Yeah,
Something stupid.
right after Glicked,
Clicking.
right after Glicked.
Yeah,
They tried it
but
again. It was a mini Barbenheimer.
yeah, that's never gonna be repeated.
No,
It was so genuine, so like organic and unique. Such
yeah,
complete different movies, and they're both very good.
but Glicked kind. I mean, no, it didn't catch on, but like it was for a minute there. It was like, oh, if they were both a
Maybe,
little better, it would have been it would have been cool.
yeah. Um, but that's like kind of the big movies coming out. This is the Rotten Tomatoes like most anticipated. But
Hmm.
yeah, we got like five or so to look forward to. That might be really good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, that's it. That's what we've got for this week on Awards Bait. This has been another very, very incredible episode for us here. As I mentioned, Getting Real Zippy is out now. Check it out if you have not already. We've got the showcase coming in a couple weeks. Buy
Get
some
your
tickets
tickets.
if they're available. Buy them. Please.
Hmm.
Love to see you there. It'll be a good time. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys so much for your time. Ron, thank you as always for joining me. This was lovely.
Yeah.
And yeah, see ya. Take care.